Welcome. My name is Catherine Huth, and I'm the Youth Services Librarian at Newcastle Public Library. Thank you so much for joining me today to discuss the kids' fridge. At NCPL, we are addressing the issue of food insecurity head on. Libraries have always been more than repositories of books. We are community hubs, safe spaces, and trusted resources. At NCPL, we see firsthand the challenges youth face and recognize that food insecurity is a significant barrier to the well-being of youth within our community. Today, I will be discussing how the Newcastle Public Library's Kids Fridge program is addressing the issue, the data that shows the need for this program, and how we aim to make a difference long term. Thanks to grants and community partnerships, we have distributed over 4,500 snacks to date, demonstrating the real need for this program and how we at NCPL are impacting children's lives one snack at a time. To begin with, I would like to start with some definitions. Food security, as defined by the USDA, means access by all people at all times to enough food for an active, healthy life. While I'm sure all of you were aware of the definition of food security, you might not have been aware that it comes in various levels, represented by our inverted pyramid on the screen. When we discuss food security throughout this presentation, we are going to be focusing on the bottom two levels of the pyramid. Low food security, the orange portion, means people have little or no indication of reduced food intake, but do have a reduced quality, variety, and desirability of their diets. For a child, this might mean not having access to a variety of foods, relying on less nutritious foods, or experiencing anxiety about running out of food. While very low food security has disrupted eating patterns and reduced food intake. Children in this situation might skip meals, experience hunger, or not have enough food regularly, leading to serious consequences later on. Unfortunately, as you are aware, food insecurity is not abnormal in the U.S. According to the USDA, 8.9% of households reported low or very low food security among children. While we often think and hope that children are being protected by hunger, the reality is that many children live in households facing food insecurity. This chart, taken directly from the USDA website, breaks down the data, showing us that 7.9% live with low food security and 1% live with very low food security. As we discussed in the previous slide, food security isn't just about the amount of food, it's also about the quality and the consistency of food. Studies have shown time and time again that children who lack access to nutritious food are at a higher risk for health problems, developmental delays, and social and emotional problems. Children experiencing hunger are often unable to focus in classrooms or might exhibit unwanted behaviors because of their hunger. When discussing food security, it is important to discuss the frequency and the duration. As you can see, while some households experience very low food security only occasionally, for the majority, it's a reoccurring struggle. Specifically, 3/4 of these households faced it for at least 3 months of the year, but the average is families deal with this problem for about half the year, averaging 7 months. And those with very low food security experience it even longer, coming in at an average of 8 months. These statistics help us underscore the persistent and often long-term nature of food insecurity in many families. This chart from the USDA indicates food insecurity based on household characteristics. Across the board, regardless of household composition, race, or area of residence, the prevalence of food insecurity has increased. Race and ethnicity is an important factor, as according to the Food Research and Action Center, rates of food insecurity were higher for Black and Latinx families, both more than double the rate of white non-Latinx households. So this looks at the white households being around 9.9% food insecure, while Black and Latinx households experience over 20% of food insecurity. So how does this apply to us? When we shift our focus to PA, it appears that by this map, PA looks pretty good. It resides below, as a whole, resides below the U.S. average for food insecurity, coming in at only 10.8%. While the state average is low, we know that is not representative of where we are. Lawrence County often has a struggle with food insecurity, coming in at a population of approximately 84,000 people with a median household income of around 60,000. It might seem like that's a decent income, but a significant portion of the population still struggles. The U.S. Census Bureau tells us that 13.6% of the individuals in Lawrence County experience poverty. According to a study by Feeding America, over 11,000 people within our county are facing food insecurity. This translates to about 13.5% of the population, exceeding the national average. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 1 in 7 people in Lawrence County who do not have consistent access to enough food. So how does that show up in Newcastle? Well, while we are only about a quarter of the county population, coming in at around 21,000 people, we face even greater challenges. Our poverty rate is nearly double that of the county at 26.1%. This concentration of poverty within Newcastle is further seen and demonstrated within our school districts. The Newcastle Area School District, our closest school district to the Newcastle Public Library, has 90.1% of students classified as economically disadvantaged. This statistic really highlights the severity of the situation. These students may rely on school meals as their primary source of nutrition, meaning that they benefit greatly from the National School Lunch and School Breakfast programs provided to Newcastle students at no cost, as well as the other initiatives that are run within the Newcastle School District. While the situation in Newcastle Area School District is particularly pronounced, economic disadvantage is a challenge across our region. As evident by this graph, the other school districts within Newcastle also have a significant percentages of economically disadvantaged families, coming in with at least 30% of families facing these challenges. So I'm sure some of you are thinking, why the library? Why should a place dedicated to inspiring lifelong learning involve itself in fighting food insecurity? Well, the simplest answer is because we're here and we see the need. If you've ever been in the library at 2:30, you see all of the tweens and teens walk the 2 blocks or however many blocks from the Newcastle Area School District Junior High, Senior High, a few blocks away. They walk down the hill, they flood the library, and they need snacks. These children come in for a quick snack sometimes, but often they stay for hours at a time. Some of them stay from 2:30 to 8:30 when we close at night. With Newcastle having the highest level of economically disadvantaged students, it is a real possibility that those 11,000 people in our county facing food insecurity, a significant portion of those are walking in our door every day. Libraries also have a long history of evolving to meet the needs of their communities in creative ways, and this often includes addressing food insecurity. In a survey conducted by the Urban Library Council, over 49% of libraries reported that they provide some kind of food distribution for youth. This demonstrates that libraries across the country recognize this need and are taking action. I found that this quote from Jason Kooksman, taken from the same Urban Library Council study, sums it up for me. We nourish mind and spirit, so it seems logical to nurture their bodies too. Rural libraries like NCPL often have the hardest time meeting these needs, citing such reasons as limited funding, as the rural libraries often operate on smaller budgets and lack of expertise and staff capacity. Staff at rural libraries often don't have the training or bandwidth to address these issues. However, NCPL has been able to overcome these challenges through strong partnerships with local organizations, stakeholders, and grant makers to secure funding and resources, as well as a dedicated staff that is passionate about serving the community and committed to making our kids' fridge a success. So a little bit about the background of the kids' fridge. It was originally purchased in 2022 with the help of a grant from the Lawrence County Empty Bowls in the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank. It was purchased as a way to house our summer snacks. It was not until 2024 that we started giving out daily snacks to any child from 0 to 18, as long as the 18-year-olds are still in school. The kids' fridge is stocked with nutritious, kid-friendly snacks such as granola bars, fruit cups, cheese sticks. We work really hard to ensure a balance of both snacks that are both appealing and some provide some nutritional value. We have also tried to give some thought to providing snacks that are not only nutritional, but filling for longer, which is why we have started providing proteins such as cheese sticks and yogurt, as well as some grains like granola bars. With the help of grants from Lawrence County Empty Bowls and the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank and generous donations from Apple Castle, we have given out over 4,500 snacks since the inception of the kids' fridge. It is probably closer to 5,000 as we are nearing the end of March. This was recorded in February of 2025 for context. So that those numbers are expected to continue to rise with a little drop off in the summer due to Newcastle school districts being out for the summer. Since my time at NCPL, I have noticed that the kids' fridge is a really big draw. While the draw of snacks might initially get them in the door before they head home on one of the city buses, having the kids' fridge allows them to have the energy to stay and participate in programs, study, or hang out with their friends. And we have been a success so far. This is our impact meter showing a year of snacks given to the children. Since the reopening of the youth services floor in September of 2024, we have seen a significant rise in the number of snacks being given. As a side note, I want to note that September is low. We see a significant drop off due to a water leak that caused the library to be closed 2 weeks of that month. If we simply compare the months of February 2024 to February 2025, we have given out twice as many snacks as last year. Looking ahead, we are committed to sustaining and growing the Kids Fridge program. As we move into the future, we are going to look into ways that we can ensure long-term sustainability of the program. While the need is prevalent in our community, we would like to continue to have the Kids Fridge. We are also going to seek out new ways that we can fund the Kids Fridge, as well as new partnerships within the community to diversify the snacks and the quantity of snacks that we can offer. Our partnership with Apple Castle has been a testament to the power of community collaboration. Another goal that we have is to see how we can incorporate more educational opportunities into our programming about nutrition and healthy eating. Oftentimes, the tweens will try and give me recommendations for foods to add to the fridge, usually some cookies or some other kind of sweet treat. And I have to explain to them, well, no, the goal is to provide healthy, filling snacks. Therefore, I think incorporating educational programming would be beneficial for them to understand what that actually means, as they may not know. So I want to thank you for joining us or joining me for this presentation today. I hope this has helped you understand the daily impact of NCPL's Kids Fridge and how we are making a difference in our community one snack at a time. If you have any questions about the Kids Fridge or any ideas about how we can continue to make the program a success, I would be happy to take any comments, any ideas that you have, or if you have like a community partner that we think would be great for this. We are just so happy to be able to provide this service for our children in our community. Thank you so much. Feel free to send me an email if you have any questions. Thank you.